thousand voices whispering, whispering, whispering. The time has passed for choices. Golden days are passing over, yeah. And I can't seem to see you, baby. Although my eyes are open wide, but I know I'll see you once more. When I see you on the other side. Yes, I'll see you on the other side, yeah. Leaving, leaving, I hate to see you cry. Grieving, 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 I hate to say goodbye. Dust and ash forever, yeah. Though I know we must be parted, and sure as stars are in the sky, I'm gonna see you when it comes to glory, and I'll see you, we'll see you on the other side. Yes, I'll see you, we'll see you on the other side. Never thought I'd feel like this. Strange to be alone, yeah. But we'll be together, carved in stone, carved in stone, carved in stone. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me tight, I'm falling. Far away, far away, far away, distant voices calling. I'm so cold, I need you, darling, yeah. And I was down, but now I'm flying straight across the great divide. I know you're crying, but I'll stop you crying when I see you on the other side. Yes, I'll see you on the other side. I'm gonna see you on the other side. God knows I'll see you on the other side, yeah. I'll see you on the other side. I'll see you on the other side. No, I'll see you, yeah, yeah, yeah. See you on the other side.
Hello, my name is Jake. I am a living human being who is currently alive. My first claim is that I don't think I should be murdered. Hello. Hello. Okay, I'm going to talk really fast in order to make a half-baked point and just hope you don't call me out on it. Does it really matter if I kill you? Secondly, hold on.
Please don't interrupt me.
I have a family. Do you have a family?
Answer the question.
Yes. It matters if you murder me.
To you?
Yes.
But to anyone else?
My mother would be disappointed.
That's exactly my point. Would anyone else?
You're moving the goalposts.
For me, it would feel really good to kill you. Like, amazing.
Let me get this straight. You believe that you have a better right.
I'm saying it would feel good.
So you're all fine with this logic that we could just say and do whatever we want?
No.
Because last I checked, we live in a society and not a Blumhouse Purge movie.
No, hey.
And clearly I'm making a pretty good point because everyone's trying to vote you out before I get to the end of my point, which is
I've been voted out.
Shoot, I was actually really close to getting to the end of my point right there.
It's been a pleasure.
Cheers. My second claim is, please don't kill me. Please, oh God, please, please, please.
Whoa.
You got here fast.
Yeah, well, I really want to kill you.
I can tell.
First off, I believe in respect. I show respect to everyone, no matter who you are. I believe we're better as a society when we respect one another.
No, I appreciate that.
Here's why I'm going to kill you.
Is that a threat?
It is just a statement.
Where do you find these people, man?
I'm just stating things, and you're being really divisive.
Okay.
Your car is parked, 30 yards from the door over here. Do you really think you can outrun all 20 of us and get to your car in time? I mean, one of us is gonna kill you. I mean, if not me, one of these other people.
No, we're not arguing if it will happen. We're arguing if it should happen.
I think so.
Please don't kill me. I have so much to live for. It's actually illegal as well, and I'm calling the cops right now.
I got voted out.
Shoot, I was really close to calling them too.
Nice chatting.
Cheers. My final claim is, no, please, help me, this is a trap.
Hi, hello.
I actually agree with your earlier point that you do have a lot to live for. You have a wife, you have kids.
Thank you, yes.
I just don't care.
Okay.
I'm still gonna kill you.
What about the 2019 NASA research paper that claims 99.9% of people don't want to be murdered? Okay, what about the research that says I don't care?
What are your sources for that?
I don't need them.
Well, pal, it sounds like you're forfeiting your argument.
Okay, but it doesn't matter because we're all gonna kill you.
Okay, yeah, really solid argument. Well, I was really impressed with the skill of some of these debaters, you know. Whatever you think of their arguments, I think that they have a lot of passion, they have a lot of drive, and I hope we were able to find some common ground. Hello? Is this part of the video or the exit strategy? Anyone?
All right, you assholes.
Oh. I thought I was ready. My microphone wasn't near me. Professional. I'm a pro. Hey guys, welcome to the Shillcast for the week. Am I fucking audible? I sure hope so. All right, so we're waiting on, I believe, Eric D. Bunks. The D stands for Destructor. He's going to be showing up pretty soon. Let's see. We're going to be waiting on Bob Chaos next week. I apologize. I apologize for those who are strictly here for Bob Chaos. I know. I'm disappointed as well. But look, this guy has stuff to do. Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about a few things. For instance, how these grifters just expose themselves. We're going to be looking at some objective metrics of the Rippaverse, because it's been a while since we updated our metrics on that, and we're just going to see how bad it actually is. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Anybody that thinks that thing is a viable thing is kind of an idiot. Kind of a dummy. But in the meantime, I want to, before Eric gets here, this is a prime opportunity. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he has something to say about this issue as well. I haven't spoken to him about it. But I do want to express my profound grief for the loss of Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. As a fan of rock and metal music for a long, long, long time, I got into Ozzy, of course, as a kid. Once I started getting into rock music and metal music, I started going backward in time. I mean, I was already going backward, listening to Beatles and Zeppelin and stuff. And it's like Ozzy was, was right there, as well as Black Sabbath. Ozzy, I just want to talk real quick about my experience seeing Ozzy live in the year 2000. This was at the, I think it was Texas Motor Speedway or whatever in Houston. It was Ozfest 2000. And yeah, man, guy was spry. He was running around like a fucking literally like a madman with a fucking giant smile on his face, like a crazy person. Which just you could tell the guy loved to perform. He loved to entertain people. And you can look around and see stories of all these bands that you can see all these bands that are expressing their grief and of the loss and everything, and how he personally helped their band and stuff, like giving them a leg up and stuff. And it's like the guy's impact on rock and metal music, and even outside of that, you got people, all kinds of people that don't even make that kind of music expressing grief. He was a real one. And, he had his ups and downs. He had his problems, just rough to experience a world without Ozzy Osbourne in it. And, that happens sometimes. That happens. I need to get new shit. Sorry. I don't want to hear about it. Shut up about it. Not you personally, but everybody. RXNV, shut up about your fucking narrative, dude. I don't want to hear your fucking narrative that's based on nothing. It's really stupid. Like, what are you talking about? These 2 successful movies are an indicator that all superhero movies are dead now? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? What are you actually saying? Are you just a fucking chud, dude? Are you just buying into chud narratives? Because it is theaters, cinematic experiences that are at a loss across the board. Okay, sure. Superhero movies don't come out and people don't just flood to fucking see them no matter how good they are anymore. That's a sign of people having more discerning taste in, not seeing mediocre fucking movies. But like, you just fucking going on about this narrative, dude. It's fucking absurd. Anyway, quite sad to hear about Ozzy. Thank you for the $5, whoever's channel this is on. Quite sad to hear about Ozzy. I think he's possibly the only man in the world who's taken so many drugs and turned out okay. Actually, freaky. Well, I mean, Keith Richards, I think, is still alive. Isn't Keith Richards still alive? I think that guy's probably just like pure drug. A little bit of both. Yeah. Anyways. So I saw Ozzy back in 2000, but I mean, before that, in the 90s, when I was really developing my musical appreciation, stuff like that, I just, he had a couple of songs that really spoke to me. One of which I had played that from Sean Livingston is the name of his channel. It doesn't have a whole lot of subs or anything, so if you like, well performed covers and stuff and other music, go check him out because he's killing it. Malcolm Jamal Warner, what? Where the fuck? When did that happen? Nah, he had to be like, what, 50 something? Really? Oh, fuck. That's sad, man. He drowned. He was swimming with his daughter, too. Jesus Christ. I didn't even hear about that. Wow. Man. Good to know. We do have some pretty big important news we got to get caught up on here. Well, now that Mr. Eric D stands for Destructor Bunks.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Popping out. It seems like I'm nothing short of the UPC that I could get in the next week.
Your audio is gone. You sound like you're muted. Are you muted?
Yep. Nope.
There we go.
Nothing short of me getting a new PC in the next month or two and getting a new preamp box is going to probably fix whatever's fuck's going on. So I apologize.
That's okay. Do you so you kind of know what it is then?
I'm pretty sure that it's either the preamp or the PC, just like the sound card going out or something like that. But I mean, I need a new PC because it's not going to sustain the upgrade to Windows 11. So I got to get a new one of those anyway. So yeah. Anyway, if it gets too bad and you can't hear me or something, just let me know if I need to repeat myself or if you want me to repeat it. If it's something stupid I'm saying, you don't have to tell me to repeat it. Yeah, man. We were just. I was talking about my experience with Ozzy. I don't know if you were a fan at all or anything, but I definitely was.
The funny thing is, I always I knew of Ozzy's music, obviously, growing up, but I actually really enjoyed Ozzy during the Osbournes era when he was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was just, he said or did anything and everything, and it's just, even if you didn't agree with him, it was hilarious. Like that whole era was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, he had his issues, especially when he was younger and whatnot. There's some pretty funny stories. I think they're funny that like Sharon Osbourne was the daughter of, I think he was the A&R guy or the label guy that was trying to get Ozzy after he left Black Sabbath or whatever.
Yeah,
but he was just too fucking like whacked out on all kinds of drugs and alcohol, and he couldn't do anything.
Right.
And so basically her dad sent her, it was basically her, she was working for him when she was basically 19, 20 years old. And he sent her to just basically go kick the shit out of him and get his shit in gear. Mm-hmm. And she, shows up in his, wherever the fuck flop house he was living in, not taking care of himself. And she just started kicking his ass. And like, dude, this is not how you're going to live. And then eventually, once she got his shit taken care of and he got up off his ass and cleaned up a bit, they fell in love and got married. But that's how their relationship started, was her just, she was assigned to kick his ass into gear. And she seems to have done that for the entirety of his life after that. So, yeah. Anyways,
whenever we lose a group of celebrities all around the same time, it's like you always wonder what the next one is going to be.
I just found out about Malcolm Gladwell. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, apparently it was a drowning accident. It wasn't even like a health issue. It was just a drowning accident.
That's really sad. And he was with his 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Which is like...
It reminds me of when what's-her-name from Glee also drowned with her daughter in the boat. It was like a few years ago. Yeah, I can't imagine. Like being a kid and having to deal with that. That's taking that on with you the rest of your life. It's crazy.
Crazy Joe, if you want to send me an email, man, or both of us, and just kind of explain out, what the issue is, then, because we can't, we do try to, it's hard for us to get all together. So that's why we can only do it really on Wednesdays. So we try to make sure that we have specific content that can kind of, be what people are wanting to see and everything, and get the views. So that's the name of the game. So, I mean, not saying that it might not be that, but we just want to know what it might be before we kind of go any further with it. So yeah, if you want to just spell out what the problem is that you're experiencing, we might be able to figure something out. Or we are certainly experts in something. Yeah, my World War II mic. I know. Is it sustained shitty, or is it just
no? It's just every once in a while it will go into like this GI robot thing, and then it pops back out again. So.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. Thanks for the $5 again. Anyway, I don't know that their relationship is always healthy, but it was a relationship, and they stuck it out.
I mean, that whole family is somewhat dysfunctional, but not in the we're never speaking to each other ever again dysfunction.
They seem to have gotten it kind of together in the last decade or so, maybe. But I mean, I know that, for instance, Jack was real bad off for a while, but now he seems to be doing really well. So
he was just on a TV show, a cake show with the world. What was it? Super Mega Cakes or something, where he was judging an alien cake. It was kind of a random thing for him to be on. I was just like, okay. Just
one last thing I wanted to show here is this tweet from. So when I saw Ozzy in 2000 Ozfest. I wasn't there to see Ozzy, I'll admit. I was there to see my very recent and still one of my favorite bands, but at that point they were pretty recently my favorite band, Incubus. And so just, having the singer of Incubus talk about how generous they were, the whole family, with getting them, leg into the industry and perform everything. That's pretty cool. I mean, you can find this stuff. There's so many people expressing this kind of stuff, and it's great. But, moving on. Let's see what we got. Well, this is fun. I just happened upon this. I don't go onto the Nazi site very often, Twitter. But I did find some stuff we'll be talking about in just a few minutes from Nerdrotic. But in the meantime, I had some notifications. Some of you might not realize I do have an account over there. I've only got 3 followers because I don't do anything with it. I just literally poach those hosts that I want.
I use it for bookmarks on stuff, like stories that aren't on Blue
I
Sky.
just now followed you because
Yeah.
that's how little I've like given a shit about it. Nothing against you. I just haven't followed anybody. I'm like,
Yeah. No, I
I was
basically,
like, I might be able to snipe some posts off at DJ if
I will retweet random things, and I will bookmark stuff, but I very rarely engage in any like discourse over there. It's just not worth it.
So I found this post, or this was in my notifications. Had two from this guy. You know, red name. If you know about Shinigami Eyes, you know what that's about. He's a chud. But he's actually was like talking to some Ripaverse fan who's like defending Eric July's lack of talent, and he's like, you know, anyway, he's kind of arguing with this person. He says, "This is exhausting. I feel bad for Lord Raptor, John Della Rose, Pan. So you know, shouldn't feel bad for those
Feels bad for
people."
John Della Rose. Like,
But then finally he says, "I like comics. I'm not in any group with any side. Literally anti-fandom. Dang, actually, that's what he was right. The crazy bastard was right. Fuck right. I was right. I'm crazy and I was right. Absolutely."
So he gave you a shout out.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. You know, eventually even my enemies come to see that I'm right.
That's funny.
I remember when people would be like, anti-fandom.
Yeah, never feel bad for JDA. That's a red flag.
No.
I think it's interesting that I think JDA also knows that a lot of people know that he's just like a social leech. You know, they kind of know that. He just doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, look, thanks for the $5 for whoever that went to. But look, we don't hate our audience. We want to put generally a little bit more effort into, you know, I mean, sometimes you might see this on a thumbnail, that type of thing or whatever, but like generally just copying the exact same thing. I don't do that mostly. Yeah, mainly out of the part out of here that people won't want to watch it because these types of things, these titles turn me off generally. But
the other thing is that I kind of found my own little niche with my thumbnails and titles and stuff. So I typically just kind of stay in that for now, and I'll do that until it doesn't work anymore. You know,
yeah.
If I put me in the center doing a funny face, it usually works.
I think they did split, like as far as being married, but like it didn't, you know, they were just, that's the kind of relationship that whenever you're that close for that long, you stay friends and just, you know, yeah.
I mean, they had family together. They got together and did stuff. They weren't like at odds.
She was there when he passed.
So yeah.
JDA is a trust fund bitch. I wouldn't believe. I mean, I wouldn't fucking doubt it. All caps comics. Cool hat, man.
I actually heard that as well. That and I don't have any. This is allegedly, but allegedly, he comes from a very wealthy family, and that the YouTube thing is just kind of a side hustle for him.
How could I mean? It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. What else can he do?
Yeah.
His real name, I assume, is John Della Rose.
Mm-hmm.
So he's well known as a Nazi. He's easily searchable and to find like the atrocious shit that he said and done over many, many years.
Right.
And yet he continues to work for these outlets and create the content that I can't imagine it's making a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
well, apparently he's pushing AI slop comics now.
Oh, cool.
Where he's just using AI to write stories and make comics. So,
wow. Yeah, he's dumb bitch. But
that's what it is.
So did you see this came out or this was launched?
I did see this. Yeah.
They can't even be bothered to create a new image of him.
That's the same picture you can search on Google. Like,
same
it's
shit
literally
for
like
years.
the first thing that pops up.
Maybe it's not possible to take a better photo of him. Like that's just literally he's reached the limit, the neurotic human limit of photo geniality or whatever.
I'm very curious if this is a how do I put this? If this is like a launching pad for like maybe a documentary movie or something. Like I feel like this is the step to that because I think ultimately he would want a documentary about himself.
Sure.
Because they're really like if you go on like Hulu or any of these other apps, docuseries are extremely popular at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he's using this as a launch pad for that. I also want to point out, I didn't think about this with the whole Ripacin thing or whatever, but if you are a company that is trying to distance yourselves from the products that you're producing and shipping or whatever, why would you name it literally after your other company? It's like Rip-a-verse, rip-a-send. So if you do something fucked up on your company, you're fucking everybody that's using your service.
Eric, I'm gonna have to push back on you there because look, do you know business? I don't know if you do. Okay, let's look at somebody who clearly does.
Yeah.
This is business, guys. If you can't fuck with this, don't even talk about business.
Yeah.
This is the Rip-a-verse. This is its ongoing legacy. Rip-a-sin,
It looks like an Excite-Bite track. Like,
God damn it! I'm gonna have to find a fucking edit of that and like do it.
Because I mean, really, it's like you see the little bumps you have. Like obviously, Horseman, because that was the Chuck Dixon non-canonical book or whatever. Bloodroot, because that was a character that was teased all the way back in during the early Isom days.
And because the all the shitty things that we can do and have said about the Saska sisters, they do seem to engage with the audience in a positive way.
Yeah.
So like they've developed more of a friendly kind of and like whatever friendly environment exists with the Rip-a-verse is almost exclusively because of
I'm still shocked that they aligned themselves with Eric July, to be quite honest. It still doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's going to be something will leak out eventually on how that happened because they're very weird. Like, oh, I read their Black Widow story. And so they just decided to work for me. Something's missing in that story.
Like somebody got really scared and then was like, oh, thank God.
It's like when your watch tells you look like you're working out. You want to stand up and move now?
Yeah, there's a couple of moments here where it's like, dude, are you okay?
Design Spirit, we're streaming to several different channels. So that's why like the ones you're seeing on the screen that we see over here in the corner is all of them combined into one chat. So
yeah, you know what? I should make it a point to write up a little intro to kind of say some standard stuff at the beginning of streams, maybe like a professional, and let everybody know that we do stream to several channels each week. So if you don't see something in the chat you're on, you will see it on screen because they're all funneled to there.
Sketchy, it might have been money in the beginning, but there's no way they're making the same money they were making on bonuses in the beginning. There's no way. The company is, I mean, unless they're funneling Rip-a-Send money to pay for Rip-a-verse employees, which, how long is that going to last?
Probably getting some regular few $100s a month or whatever, maybe a couple thousand maybe from merch. Who knows?
Well, I also want to point out that these campaigns are also including merch and not just comics, so it's really hard to tell how many people care about the comics because the Horseman campaign and the Bloodruth campaign had stuff in it that wasn't about Horseman and Bloodruth. So
yeah, I don't know. It's almost like they want to obfuscate the actual sales somehow.
Yeah,
it's weird. Obfuscation. I mean, okay, so I wanted to point out too, real quick. I was looking at this nerd erotic thing, and it kind of struck me in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
The nerd waiting for nerd erotic shit. That this is like, if you think about it, this is kind of gives an insight into how they view their narratives. Does that make sense? Like, okay, so
are you on the screen with the thing?
Yes,
now?
sorry. Let me show you that. So like, their narratives are always going to say exactly what they want them to say, no matter what the reality is, no matter what the facts, objective facts are, or data or anything. It's always going to be so they from the get go. And we're going to talk about this in just a minute with Nerd Erotic in particular. But like the first thing that they say about whatever it is going to be them setting the standard that they want people to accept, right?
Right.
And so, for example, if you apply that same logic to this, it doesn't matter that 2,443 books sold for a guy who's got what, over 1 million subs?
Almost
not
2
that
million,
great.
Right? Isn't it almost 2 million now?
Yeah,
maybe
something like that. But I mean, that's not that great in my opinion. I feel like you should be able to, but the pre-order goal, and there's always a pre-order goal, right? That sets the narrative for what so then no matter what, they can say we're winning. Right, except for in the case of, I guess.
Keep in mind that's 50,000 less than Yellow Flash's comic book because the Yellow Flash comic book was 100,000. So they said we're going to lower the goal by 50,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what it is. They set the pre-order goal. That's the narrative. That's basically the safeguard for the narrative.
What is the pre-order goal? Like that, this is not a normal campaign. This isn't like a crowdfunding campaign. So why is that a pre-order goal? Because according to Eric, these things aren't pre-orders. They're already printed and sitting on a shelf waiting to go out. So what are you pre-ordering?
Exactly.
What are you getting for that?
It's all just narrative framing. That's all it is. So that way, if if they would have only made $55,000, total. They could, no matter what, they could still fall back on that pre-order. We fucking surpassed our pre-order goal, right?
Because they're going to ship them out anyway. This isn't like a normal crowdfunding thing where if you don't hit the goal, it doesn't happen. Like this is going to happen whether they hit the pre-order goal or not, because the
sales goal, the metric is they can just manipulate it any way they want to. We passed it 240%, sales goal.
Yeah.
Like,
they're supposed to be very transparent, but there's no mathematical equation that explains how they set their pre-order goal. Like, what's the formula for that? Like, how do you reach that number?
And let's not forget that the only people who see what the actual numbers are on the business end of Ripverse.
Right.
It's not done through any type of public crowdfunding thing, which generally is done that way because you want to be transparent.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the main benefits of it. From prison to YouTube. Yeah, man. So did fucking the guy that killed the guy. What was that? The death metal guy, black metal guy. He fucking killed that dude back in the 90s, and he got out and he's on YouTube now, and he's a fucking Nazi. Literal Nazi. So like, from prison to YouTube.
I swear to you, I think we're going to see sort of a docuseries announced in the next couple of years, or at least he's hoping to do one, which I would not be surprised if Eric July tries to fund that and get into another business venture.
We're on YouTube, so I mean, I'm not shitting on the idea entirely. I'm just saying that it's not like there's a fucking entry level test to get into fucking YouTube and doing YouTube, right?
Also, I want to point out, what does that even mean? From prison to YouTube, literally anybody can start a YouTube channel.
That's what I'm saying. Like you get out of prison, a child diddler, a mass child diddler of who's diddled 50,000 children. I'm not saying Gary's done that. I don't have any proof that he has. I don't have any proof that he hasn't. But let's just say that somebody has done that, and then they get out of prison, and they can start a YouTube channel. It's not fucking special.
Right. I mean, if you really wanted to do that, you could say from prison to YouTube success. Like if you wanted to like do that, something like that.
Or even a million subscribers on YouTube.
Right.
But I mean, I guess that's a little bit wordy, but
or from prison to 1 million fans. You could come up with a lot of better titles than that, or subtitles than that.
No, you wouldn't think that, because the prison is not known to actually rehabilitate people. What it does is exactly what it did for Gary. It makes criminals better. It makes better criminals.
Our prison system is not only it's the intent of prison isn't to necessarily help people, it's to keep people away from other people. That's the whole point.
You go over to
you can use it
countries and you see better system model for prison.
If you end up in a really good prison, you can definitely turn your life around, but not everybody does. It doesn't always happen. Like this whole thing with Alcatraz, trying to start that back up, and then you got the alligator Alcatraz or whatever. Those places like that, you're not getting anything out of it. So roughly 0.1% of his audience cares about his. Well, I don't think this is a comic. I think it's just a book. I think it's like a biography.
Yeah, I think it's just regular, like a book that I guess he wrote. I don't know, but oh, you got a $5 thing.
Yeah. I like you and EVS's discussion about comics. It's been forever. I think the last time that I talked with him about comics was with Shane Davis. But when you don't have the info you have the info to back it up. Oh yeah, I don't lie. Like if I haven't read a comic book, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I know all about this comic book. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I do. Like I love comic books, but I'm not a comic book I'm not this comic book person that knows. Like I'm not. How do I put this? I would not portray myself as an expert on comic books. There's certain things I'm an expert on, like certain stories and things, but not comic books as a whole. And that's one of the big grifts of these guys is they want you to think that they know everything about everything. And I think it's much more relatable when you admit that you don't know something, because then you're not lying to the people that are watching your content. So, but thank you for the $5. Yeah. EVS had somebody on his stream the other day. I think Larry Niobe or whatever, that guy. Comics.
Oh, the Niobe Comics guy?
Yeah. Well, he got mad at me and he said that, oh, you guys hate me. And I'm like, I don't really know you, man. Like, how could I hate you? I don't know you. And then he said your name specifically. Like, Dane, actual fandom, hates me or something. And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't speak for you. But secondly, the only time I've ever seen him is in people's chats. Like, I didn't even know what his comic book was about. I had to go look his comic book up to find out what it was. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I don't remember exactly how it happened. I know that I'd seen him saying some shit about me or us at something at one point or another, and that's fine. I'm not going to hate somebody just because they talk shit on me. I really don't. I've got it. There's enough people that do it. I don't have the energy to hate people like that. But like I saw him streaming one time, and I actually showed up being friendly. But it very quickly devolved into them purity testing me. Basically, is what it seemed like. Just wanting to know, oh, you think comics are good now or whatever? I'm like, yeah, I find lots of great. Some of the best comics I've ever read have been there, in the last 5, 6, 7 years. Just, you know what I mean? Like, there's great comics, there's bad comics. It doesn't. Anybody that's telling you everything is bad is lying to you, and they don't want you to
just
find out.
Just as much as anybody who's telling you everything is good. Like, there's no definitive one or the other. It's like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I jumped in to the conversation with Larry to clear my name because he kept saying I hate him, and I'm like, I don't hate you, dude. I don't even know you, and I don't hate people. I don't unless I know someone personally. It's hard for me to say I hate someone. But also, he was complaining about Comicsgate and all of the dogpiling and people picking sides and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, if you don't like the way something is, then fucking walk away from it. If you don't like how something is treating you, if you're part of Comicsgate and you don't like how it's treating you, go start your own thing. Just go start your own thing. Like, that was what I was saying to him, and he just kept going and going and going. I was like, dude.
I found an email exchange that I've had with someone almost maybe a couple of years ago now that wrote to me with concerns. He wasn't against me or my content, but he was concerned that I was being that I was basically kind of lying on behalf of the comics industry by saying that it's thriving.
Right.
And he had a good point. Once we exchanged emails, very good faith, and it was like, I looking back on it, I was like, man, I appreciate this guy. Because what he was saying was there are problems in the industry, and I would often not talk about those. And instead I'm saying that, look at the sales. The sales are actually up year after year, which is true. Then that way, the comic book publishers, they're not fucking going anywhere. You know what I mean? However, what he was pointing out things like the layoffs at DC, and it happened recently at that point, and the creators not getting paid well. I'm like, you know what, man? Fair. Like, I don't mention that stuff as often as I should, because honestly, we can't have a real discussion about it whenever so much focus is on wokeness and the fucking activist SJWs that are coming in, whatever fucking garbage narratives that they're putting out there, right? It's just stupid. Yeah, there are real problems within the pay structure. There always has been with the comic book industry, and it's something that really severely needs to be addressed. And like, they cancel stuff way too quickly now. For one thing, they don't let stuff kind of play out and see if it gains an audience after an arc or two. Nope, if the first arc is not doing so well of a series, they fucking cancel it. I don't like that shit. However, what these fucking people that want to talk about the SJWs and stuff don't want to ever talk about is the collected edition boom in sales, the fucking trades, the digital order boom.
Well, I'm just looking over here. They're saying that one of the key drivers for success of comic books right now is the digital comics accessibility through platforms like ebooks, apps, and webcomics.
Yeah. And and they don't talk about that stuff because they're just focused on their past experiences, being guys who went to the comic shop and bought some issues every week or whatever. And like, hey, I was that too.
Having your pull list where you go in and you get the stuff that you've got on hold, and they hold it. They have it ready for you when you walk in. My local comic book shop still has a pull list shelf for me. Like, I haven't had anything on hold for a while, but I read a lot on digital. Unless I'm going to buy something that I want to keep as a collectible, I read on digital. That's the way I do it.
Man, it's good to see somebody in all caps cap, even though it's your cartoon rendering, say that. Like, legit, it's awesome to see somebody that's not just spouting a fucking narrative, because I mean, I don't watch EVS's content. I check in on it now and then, mainly whenever it's something that's helpful to expose Eric July being a grifter. Because I started this shit. I did not like Ethan Van Sciver. I wanted to talk about how much he was a grifter and stuff, and regardless of whether he was new grief, he was or not. Once Eric July came on the scene, my focus shifted.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, this guy.
There's a lot of people that are here that probably do go and watch some of the Comicsgate stuff or whatever. Sure. There's so much internal fighting right now with Comicsgate that there's almost it's laser focused on just the subgroups within Comicsgate. Like, I can't even explain it to you. It's so much. It's a lot. There's a lot happening.
If you're watching right now and you are a fan of that content, and even if you hate me or whatever, like, just want to ask you sincerely, do you feel like you're accomplishing what Comicsgate set out to accomplish? You know?
You mean like starting a new direction for people and that are
I mean, yeah, it
canceled or
seems like
whatever?
they've definitely moved their own goalposts inward, you know, whether they meant to or not over years, because originally it was supposed to be this movement that would change how mainstream comics would be made, right? They wanted to fucking swarm Marvel and DC with their creators and like take over shit and do that by building up their
This
own
is back
personal
with the
projects and stuff.
Richard Myers
Sure.
thing.
And
So,
then
yeah,
now it's just like they seem to just be satisfied whenever they get some of their projects funded or made or whatever. And, you know, and it's like, that's
Yeah.
cool. I'm not going to say you shouldn't make your projects. I've never said Comicsgate shouldn't exist. Comicsgate shouldn't make their own comics. I've never said that you shouldn't do anything specific. You know, if you want to fucking, you know, have I don't know, some offensive thing or whatever that I would think is offensive in your comic, good, man. Fucking good. I'm glad for you. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. It's been specific stuff that I've gone after, but it really hasn't been that much in the last couple of years. But I do want to.
Well, I'll say this also, that the fragmentation of what Comicsgate has opened up new segments of like ideas of what they think Comicsgate should be. So you have like one group that's like, we want less sexy comics. So they're doing like the Christian, you know, like the no gooning type shit or whatever. That's one little bubble of it. And then you have another bubble that's like, no, we want more sexy stuff in comics. We're also Comicsgate. You know what I mean? Like they're doing their thing, but they're both claiming to be Comicsgate. So it's really, it's just, I don't think we could have predicted when we first started talking about this stuff where the direction of some of these subgroups would end up. I honestly didn't think that we would see this much fragmentation within Comicsgate. It's a little weird. There's a lot of it. When I was talking to Larry and EVS we were in the stream talking about it. They mentioned like 6 different Comicsgate subgroups right now. That's crazy. So there's 6 different groups of different people within Comicsgate that are all fighting with each other at the moment.
Well, I'm gonna borrow some content from EVS right now.
Okay,
and
let's go
point to
for it.
this. This was the 3-year anniversary live
I
stream.
saw this.
3 years, hell yeah, Rippaverse! Congratulations, 127 people in chat. 120 no, that's not what I said. 127
Right.
to launch a $20,000 campaign, and many of the chat, I don't want to say most, I can't prove that, but many seem like, you know,
They were people that work for Rippaverse,
Right.
yeah, or they're like the mega fans that are in every campaign. You know what? I think I don't even know. Like, so I think one of the things is that Eric did not anticipate losing as much as he did because of all the crap he was putting on YouTube. Because when he came out, or I think it was earlier this year, maybe it was the end of last year, and said that he had lost a bunch of writers and artists and stuff because they didn't like the kind of stuff that he was doing on social media. That was the end. Because that means he can't get his foot in the door at any of these like different studios, because they're going to find the same stuff. They're going to talk to the same people. So he's been stuck with like the same creative core, and he can't go outside of that. That's all he has, really.
well, I mean, plus he shot himself in the foot with his ego, man. His ego has been everything wrong with this, because, you know, as Ethan points out earlier in this same thread, because you guys remember, you overestimate your importance, Ethan, is what Eric said back whenever he was you know, it was Dick had leveled some pretty fair fucking honestly criticism that I pretty much agreed with, and would say that if he had actually corrected those things, he might have been able to make a decent comic book.
Yeah.
You know, but Eric rejected it outright. Like, this is just some hater, right? Anybody that says it doesn't praise him is just some hater. Ethan, you know, his friend who he had asked for so much help from getting his shit off the ground, and had said, yeah, man, he's got some good points here, and was trying to fucking, you know, subtly and like in a friendly way get him to accept this, and of course Eric just rejected it, and then this is what happened. Because Ethan just dropped the fucking DMs.
Oh yeah. I saw this the other day.
So you overestimate your importance, CVS. Text drop follows. Enjoy. So, all right, dude. I just finished writing the book. This is July 28th, 2021. 82 pages. The only thing left is finalizing some of the concept art with my concept artist for some other characters, so I'm officially shopping artists. Email the information you sent me about potential printers if you don't mind. This just shows that he literally could not. I mean, he might have had some other people he could turn to, a handful of other people. I don't know if he would have gotten as good as, information, or at least consistent from one person. I don't know that he had that ability other than with Ethan.
No, I think it was just Ethan at this point, because no one else, if you think about the 2021, even the Yellow Flash stuff, all these other people in the fandom menace and everything, no one really had those kinds of connections. It was just Ethan.
Yeah. I mean, these are people that Ethan all knew. I mean, knew all of, and once Ethan said, yeah, check this guy out. He's got some work. That's a lot of these people respect Ethan. That's all they need to hear.
Yeah.
And
he's been saying for years that Kanan White, the guy that's been doing a lot of the better artwork for Eric, was someone that he suggested way back in the beginning, and these DMs prove that. So he was telling the truth about that. See, look, he's even asking about the packaging.
Yeah. Every single aspect, basically, except for the story. And when it came to, it's like, dude, he thought he had something. He fucking thought he had something with this Isom bullshit. Thinking about pulling the trigger on Cliff Richards. He's and this is just another revealing thing. It's like he's done work with both Marvel and DC. Oh,
right.
the guys that suck?
Right, the companies that you talk shit about all the time. So you're looking for someone that's worked with the big two, even though you say the big two's quality has been going downhill. So
look, this might come off as a racialized comment by accident. I honestly don't care at this point. But dude, Eric made his name off of welfare for Marvel and DC.
By the way, Dane,
yeah,
there's, to me, the biggest reveal in all of these is that last sentence in that second paragraph there.
Trying to make some real money.
So was it about the comics? You wanted to do something that you'd always wanted to do? Or is it about making a bunch of money? Because this text message makes it seem like you're trying to make real money, and you'll do it off the backs of Marvel and DC, two companies that you've spent years attacking on YouTube.
I mean, don't make me pull the old clips, because I'll damn sure do it. Let me see.
By the way, Ripaverse Goalpost still has not posted. And look, we've mentioned that name in a couple of streams. Whoever was running that account is gone.
Or
they've left.
No longer finds it useful.
Yeah. The last tweet that they posted was 98% roasting Eric July in the replies. And I think they realized that it was done. Like the party's over.
Okay.
Shout out to them, though. They gave me a lot of publicity by sharing my clips of non-Eric July related content.
Company is going to make me so much money.
I mean, yeah, and that's the title of the video, by the way. This company is going to make me so much money. So at least he admits it. He admits that he is grifting on the backs of Marvel. He can't sell his book on its own merits. The resentment that he is building, and him and others, Chuds, have built towards Marvel and DC mainstream comics, and also representation within those comics, it's all an admission that his comic is not interesting or inspired enough to just grab people's attention as a comic book.
Yeah. This
was 2022. This is before the first issue ever touched anybody's hands.
Look, just be transparent about it. If you're doing something for money, make that obvious to the people that are supporting you, instead of acting like you're trying to change culture. Like, if you're doing something to change culture, then say, I'm doing this because I want to do this, and I also want to make money. Like, just say that. Trying to nail down a color so we can get these things done as pencils come in 5 at a time. I'll reach out to Kyle to see what he has going. Have you worked with Blonde the colorist? A while ago, Richards and Blonde did a Lobo comic. So still reaching out to people that have worked for DC at this point. Going to respond to him and pitch and see what happens. I'm going through my emails right now to see who's sent portfolios.
Brazil, and I'm going to keep looking at Brazil over and over again.
Yeah, I think Brazil kind of roped him in because it was so cheap.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
I mean, this isn't very good.
No.
I mean, I guess color-wise, it's kind of okay, but
I mean, it's so tiny I can barely even see what it is.
Not bad, but here Ethan is literally telling him, dude, not good enough for you. He's
Right.
fucking boosting him up, trying to get him to choose better for himself.
Quality.
He clearly doesn't know. He doesn't
Right.
know. And so, yeah.
And I want to point out, this isn't the first time this happened. There's several DMs that EVS has shared where he's told people, including Yellow Flash, you are not getting the best people for the job that you're trying to do.
Yep.
And they just ignore it.
This is fucking excellent.
Yeah.
Certainly no way I can settle for faster this project.
And they end up using like fucking assets for his thing.
Have you seen your assets yet, bro?
Kind of cute assets you have there. Do you have API templates for printing the standard comic? Joseph is out with COVID. Let me check to see this in it. Thanks. COVID. Wow, that's back in the day. Oh, here he is. Are you able to squeeze in an ISOM cover?
And then I'm going to be 100 with you, not be public with this. You going out of your way to play middle of the road publicly with a dude that has gone out of his way to work overtime to publicly defame is whack. It's even weaker that you could lend credence to their narrative. I treat you like I do anybody else in this space. Well, that's your problem, dude. You had a fucking legit former professional comic book creator, and you didn't treat him like that. You know, except for whenever it came time to ask him for fucking technical fucking know, help behind the scenes. He didn't want to treat him like a fucking actual, creator because Eric doesn't value creativity.
But keep in mind, this is also after he had a little bit of success. So he's like, oh, I've got a little bit of success now, so now I can talk to you like a piece of shit, is the way he kind of went about this.
Yep.
And I do not use my platform to amplify narratives that go against others I'm cool with.
Right, as long as they're cool with you.
Right.
And if you're, what a fucking piece of shit. God damn. One of the fucking lamest ass dudes on the internet, Eric July. And I think, let's go back to this real quick. It's over, bro. It's fucking over. Rippaverse is over. Ripazine is over. Rip of Send, all of it's fucking done. You may get a few $1,000 here and there for some shit, but like,
I can't wait to read the stories from the Chuds who think they can write good comic books when that comic comes out, because it is going to be so funny, especially heel versus babyface. Like, I cannot wait for that one. I can't
we'll
wait.
see what Callum Edmonds can do as well.
Yeah. We do have a super chat here from Herald of Galactus, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. I wonder your thoughts on going after the Chud's Achilles heel as valid tactics, i.e. Gary selling meth as his age, as it obviously bothers. You mean like do we approve of it, or... I have a very simple standard with this. They're both pieces of shit, so I don't care what I say about them. And anything I say about them is specifically about them. It's not about any broader story than that. And I know some people don't want to hear that. Maybe people don't, that's why some people don't want to support content, because they think, better than this, better than that. When they go low, we go high stuff or whatever. I'm beyond that with these guys. I'm beyond it. Like, these guys are pieces of shit. So I just don't hold any grace for them at all.
My thing is I would never go after Gary selling meth if Gary had not turned around and turned into creating content that is arguably just as addictive in some, and more widespread, and at this point, more harmful. Then, because here's why. I mean, I've had people push back on this when I say this. They're like, oh, you can't say it's worse than meth. People that buy meth know they're buying a drug that's bad for them, man.
It's subversive, like what he's doing.
People that watch his content, they think they're the fucking heroes and that they're getting the real facts. It's even more subversive and deceptive and widespread than whatever local fucking little meth, operation he had going on at whatever time. You know what I mean?
Mm.
He might have just been selling 20 bags to support his own fucking habit. I don't know. I really don't know the details.
As far as his age goes, I don't believe there's an age where you can stop enjoying this content. I think it's fair to say you can be 60 and still love comic books. But when you're complaining about Disney princesses every day, obsessing about that, and that's all you're doing is screaming about it, screaming about diversity and stuff when you're 50 years old, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's just the way I feel about it. You're halfway to 100 and you're yelling about Disney princesses. You're yelling about people of color. You're yelling about seeing a rainbow flag in your grocery store. Bro, grow up. You're 50. Like, what the fuck?
Chariot, I hope you're feeling better. I've heard you're under the weather, and I hope that goes away soon. You think these chuds who dream of being better at stuff than the people they farm content about realize they need to practice to get better? No, I mean, no, they don't think that because they think that there's a line in a Nirvana cover they did on their Unplugged album that always pops up in mind jokingly, where he says, "I don't have to think, I only have to do it. The results are always perfect," and that's old news. And it's like, that's what I think that these guys legit think of themselves as, right? Like that they should just wake up in the morning and shit excellence. And meanwhile, real people are fucking putting in the work and shit. And like, the old saying that like, you put in 10,000 hours of practice to become a master of something, basically, right? I don't know how true that is exactly, but yeah, generally I'd say that's, but as far as like, I do want to take it one little point with that previous comment.
Yeah.
Those are not their Achilles heels. The going after their physical traits or their age or what they used to do or whatever, like those are things that can be useful. And definitely if you use them in the right moment to highlight hypocrisy or whatever, that's great. Their Achilles heels is that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, that they lie a lot, and you can generally prove it. The Achilles heel is to just fucking expose their grift. That's their fucking Achilles heel. I mean, it may feel good to go after, Jeremy Griggs' lack of eyebrows or Gary's fucking, beady little soul.
Ryan Cannell's forehead. I mean, there's a lot of things you go after, like
stuff like that. But it's yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's their Achilles heel. I think their Achilles heel is just exposing them for being dishonest and not being real fans.
Well,
look at because they want you to. We said this before. They want you to focus on the right now thing they're saying right now only. But if you step back and look at their broad fucking look at this on screen right now. Eric July is going to say, "Oh, we made $70,000 on this book. That's great." It's like, okay, but what about when you step back and look at the timeline, dude?
And you made $3.7 million on your first book.
And you acted like that was what you were going to, do the whole time or whatever. Like there's something going on here, right? So you look at Gary,
right?
For example, this is a great segue. Thank you, by the way. So Gary did a video recently where he essentially, the whole video was about him just going after access media and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that get early access to stuff.
Yeah, it was like trying to discredit the Superman reviews.
Yes, you can't trust the Superman reviews because these people all get to go see the movie early.
They're hand-picked influencers and critics by Warner Brothers. That was what he said in the video.
Yep. Now, here's a tweet. Fantastic Four: First Steps is the best Disney Marvel movie of the year. Is that a compliment from Gary? That's wild. But let's look at something here. What is this? Is this a movie premiere that they are early screening? They got I think it is. Yeah.
Someone said that Chris Gore got a +1. Basically, Andy and Chris got to go, and he got a +1, and he took Gary with him.
That's very romantic. Look, they're very close too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's
cool movie, bro. Date later.
You think Gary's giving him a little reach around there, or what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't.
Reach behind.
Yeah, reach behind. He's giving a little butt diddle. All right. So this is kind of hypocritical to the extreme, really. So ignore his fucking look. Am I offended by this? No. Do I think it's?
I don't know if I would use if I'm a straight guy with another straight guy. I don't know if I'd use the term "we're hoping to get beat off" by standing close to him.
Because it's just like I don't give a shit. Like I'm completely secure enough of my sexuality that I can make whatever joke I feel like. And
I don't think these two guys are though. I think both of them are not. So
as long as it makes somebody laugh, I don't fucking care.
I mean, it's like hoping to get 69 tonight. Okay, cool, got it. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck?
Oh,
cool story. Might suck dick later. Like I don't know. Like it really is.
We've got to get our fingers in each other's asses.
And then the voyeur off to the side. The voyeur is over there waiting. That's going to watch them together. He's smiling because all he has to do is watch.
But this is an early screening that they went to see it in IMAX, and then back to okay. Now what is this? Does this mean he liked the movie? Let's find out.
Pay attention to the word.
Where's the goddamn videos at?
You gotta go to a live. Is it on a live? Is it a live stream? Was it a nooner? Nerdrotic nooner?
absolute state of superheroes. You know, oh my god, these thumbnails give me fucking ass cancer, dude.
Yeah.
Let me find this other.
I mean,
channel.
the thing is though that he was using Twitter to gauge the water. Like when you dip your foot in a pool and you want to see how cold or how hot it is. That's what he was doing. That's what he was using
Marvel in
Twitter
full
for.
panic mode. Kevin Feige coping hard in damage control interview. Over what? Well, because if you really break down what he said here, this is why he's successful, because he is good at grifting. You know, this is not a positive statement about the movie.
No.
This is a statement that says it's better than every other movie that they've watched that they've called absolute utter garbage woke shit this year. Right? So that's all it's saying is, so basically he can have his fucking grift and eat it too. He gets to say, oh, it was better. And then people can go, oh, well, he doesn't hate every Marvel movie. He said that it's, you know, he liked it or whatever. Like, no, he didn't. But then
and look, Adam Friended is shocked. Did you see it? Because Gary doesn't normally go to early media review. Like, he doesn't do that.
What?
Because that's access media. Remember, if you go to something early, you're accepting a gift from the studio, and therefore your reviews cannot be considered valid. They're always corrupt. Anything you say, yeah.
No, because of ratings. Literally the fucking king of late night for like a decade almost. And he, what a fucking piece of shit, man.
Well, except for the fact that, not to get too sidetracked, but Trump actually tweeted out that he hopes that he had something to do with this. He tweeted that out. So,
well, I've got we can kind of there's not a lot to discuss there with Nerdrotic anyway, so we got something we could pivot to.
Oh, he's a hypocrite again. Like one of the million times a hypocrite. He's a fucking double standard bitch. Like,
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. Earlier this month, the parent company of CBS agreed to pay $16 million to settle a $20 billion lawsuit brought by President Donald Trump, who objected to the way CBS News' 60 Minutes edited an interview with his opponent, Kamala Harris.
Can you pause it? By the way, that we saw the unedited interview. There's nothing there to be complaining about.
$20 billion. I didn't realize that till right now that he sued for $20 billion. He's only suing News Corp for $10 billion for the Washington or the Wall Street Journal thing about his
that will never go to trial. He will never ever go. He'll drop it before it goes to trial. But the thing is that that the interview that he's talking about, we've already seen the unedited version. Like it's just awkward pauses were taken out of certain portions of it. There's really nothing there. It's not like they made her say something that she didn't say.
Paramount board chair and controlling shareholder Sherry Redstone reportedly sought the settlement to ensure the FCC approves Paramount's $8.4 billion bid to merge with Skydance Media. In April, 60 Minutes longtime executive producer...
Oh, but thank God South Park is safe, guys. Yay.
They were going to court over that too for South Park seasons, and
but did you hear the results? What
they're getting 10 episodes a year or something, like
for 5 years. 50 episodes for $1.5 billion. That's insane. Right. I mean, I guess it's cool that it's still worth something like that, but Jesus, we need better.
I would say it's the access to everything else. That's really what the value is. Like, they're paying them for those, but they're actually saying all your seasons are worth that much money to us. That's really what it is.
It's probably because, like we've talked about on the show, I mean on the Fabcast last week, that the CBS is the fucking propaganda station. They're the fucking, they were in the 70s, 60s and 70s with Vietnam. They were the first station to fold as far as like not showing the unfavorable war footage that they didn't want shown, or the White House. Then of course they were the first one to fold in this example as well. So like, they're pretty quick to bend over for the fascists.
They've been like that for a long time. You just have to know
they're the old people station. They're the propaganda station. They got more propaganda than any other station, right? But I think that was probably exactly why they did this South Park thing, because like, well, otherwise we're not going to have any younger people watching our shit. We need to do this so that we can cover the younger people, because the young people love South Park. Anyway,
Bill Owens resigned amidst disagreements over how to respond to the lawsuit, saying he'd lost the independence that honest journalism requires, unquote. In May, CBS News president, CEO Wendy McMahon, announced she would also step down, saying in a parting memo, "The company and I do not agree on the path forward," unquote. Last week, Stephen Colbert, host of The Late Show, skewered the settlement in his monologue.
Unlike the payoffs from ABC and Twitter, Paramount's settlement did not include an apology. Instead, that's good. Instead, the corporation released a statement where they said, "You may take our money, but you will never take our dignity. You may, however, purchase our dignity for the low, low price of $16 million. We need the cash." Now, I believe... What can I say?
Yeah, Wall Street Journal's going scorched earth on Trump, man. You kind of love to see it. I hate to be, like go Rupert Murdoch, but
well, the funny thing about this is it's two of the people that we should hate fighting each other, which is fine. But I want to point out there's also a lot of questions about who actually leaked all of this, and a lot of people think it's JD Vance, which is really interesting. But the other thing, what was that?
I haven't seen any evidence of that.
No, it's just I was just bringing it up. Is that's some speculation on it, but. The fact that the government is taking a vacation until September because they do not want anything to be voted on in regards to this, and they think by September people are going to be over this. I got news for them. This is the one that I don't think is going away.
No, it's not going anywhere.
I don't think this is going away.
I have anything to say about it anyway.
Well, it seems like there's enough people on the right that are locked into talking about this that it's just not going to go away. Because think about this: the stolen election, is that ever going away? No. It's been around, and it's because the right wing, like the extreme right wing conspiracy theory bubbles, they don't let go of stuff. They don't let go of it. So, yeah.
Hey, Mr. Stephen loves to dance. Now, I believe this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's big fat bribe. Because this all comes as Paramount's owners are trying to get the Trump administration to approve the sale of our network to a new owner, Skydance.
That was last week. Just days later, there was another announcement. This is Stephen Colbert again.
Before we start the show, I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May.
The whole show.
And yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away.
All just going away.
Pause this for a second. Or you ended, I guess. So two things there that jump out as red flags to me. I know people are overlooking this, and I've had like idiots argue with me in my comment section about this. But they're getting rid of the whole show completely when they could have just picked another host. However, if they picked another host, they couldn't lie about it being a ratings decline. Right? So in order for them to cover up that what he was saying about them sort of working hand in hand with the government with this bribe to get this merger to happen, the only thing they could do was fall on their sword. Because if they would have replaced him after that comment with another person, then it would have been easy to go, hey, this is a bribe, right? This is them doing it for that reason. But the fact that they canceled the whole show, they literally chopped off one of their hands in this to get this to happen because they were worried that people were going to catch on to it. They thought people were stupid enough not to see it for what it is. And it happened right after he did that little monologue joke. So it's very obvious to me, before Trump even said anything, that this was trying to placate to the government.
Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, you got guys like Nerdrotic celebrating literal cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
Lying about it so that they can justify their celebration of it. The ratings were not an issue.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Actually, when I first heard the news, I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't doing good. Maybe it's an issue with culture. Maybe whatever. The very next day I went and looked and I was like, oh, no. This is definitely 100% them trying to, cover up their bribery.
I mean, look, ratings for all television is down.
Yeah.
But the
but that was the best late night show though, according to ratings.
Right, but I mean, like the clips on YouTube and the streaming episodes and stuff are fucking getting massive numbers because that's what people watch now. I mean, if it was about just adapting to the changed, dynamic of how people view stuff, then they would have done that. They would have adapted instead of just canceling.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, Dane, for me, the red flag was they canceled it so they could claim that. That's the issue. Is like they wanted to make it seem like that was the issue. If they would have replaced him, then they couldn't claim that the show was in decline. That was their only out. They had to cancel the show. They had to. They had no other choice. If they were going to rework the show, they would have just kept him and reworked the show. But then it would have been obvious, I guess they thought, to like get rid of him and keep the show. So they cut it all off. It's so fucking crazy. It's crazy. But the other thing is, this is not just an issue for free speech, but this is like kneecapping some of the remaining things that are drawing people to actual live television. Because a lot of the shows that you see on TV, you can watch on streaming, right? There's no real reason, but things that are live on network television are the things you have to watch while they're live. So this is just taking them out of the knees, essentially. Yeah. They're sacrificing everything for this merger. And I think I've seen a lot of people who are like, I'm never going to watch anything on CBS ever again. I'm done with CBS. So,
I mean, yeah, I've canceled my subscription. Yeah, I had Paramount Plus through Amazon, and I've gotten rid of that now.
I'm not surprised. There's a lot of people online. I think this is going to hurt their wallets. They thought they were going to get away with this, and I don't think they are. I think this is going to be a bad thing for them. Now, what are they going to do to fix it? I don't know, because I don't think they want this merger to happen. So I don't know if they're even going to like try and fix it, at this point. But I will say this, Skydance should be watching this and reevaluating whether or not they want to buy Paramount now, because this is a scandal, and a scandal could ruin the sale. So
did you see this poor guy that lost his job? This poor fella.
Yeah. I've been saying for a long time, I don't want to like bury the lead here, but Jubilee is bad for the ecosystem. I don't think it's a very good.
I think it is bad. I do think that Mehdi Hassan going on there was a smart move.
Oh yeah.
Because they haven't had enough people as capable as him going on there. They've generally, have a bunch of fucking hysterical liberals going after some, media trained chud. But he kind of fucking, he kind of fucked all these guys up. It's pretty astonishing.
And they thought they got one. They were like, "Oh, we got him." It's like, no, man, he made you guys look really stupid.
No, Mehdi Hassan is a fucking legit badass. I'm gonna pull this clip up here real quick.
By the way, if you're watching this on playback, it might be blocked in your area because Jubilee are a bunch of bitches and they like.
Oh, never mind. We won't do that. My bad. I forgot about that. I did know that, and then I forgot. So,
you can pull up the picture of him, and we can talk about it. But if you show anything, they're gonna block the videos. Jubilee. So this is the interesting thing about Jubilee. Jubilee started out as a not-for-profit activism movement back in 2015, 2016. And then shortly after 2017, they went to for-profit, and that's when they started like claiming content and claiming videos and things like that. So,
I mean, there's actually a couple of different schools of thought as to whether or not anybody should be covering any of this or platforming that or anything like that. I mean, if I had my way, the shit wouldn't exist for sure, right? Like, they wouldn't be doing it. But, yeah, thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael. Good to see you, by the way.
So this guy, like, I just feel like it's important that people understand these people are out there because, as Mehdi Hassan said in an interview with the Bulwark afterward, like I watched it yesterday, he's talking to what's his name on that, and he's saying the degree to which people are clutching their pearls over anti-Semitism when they're really referring to anti-Zionism or anti-Israeli genocide of Palestinians, right? Which is, I mean, I don't know how you feel. It's not the same thing, in my opinion. It's not anti-Jewish person to say that the state of Israel is committing a genocide and needs to fucking stop. And even to go further and say that they, have claimed they've colonized a fucking area that for a long, long time certain people live there, and now they're fucking wiping them out. It's just not great. I know America has a history of doing that, but maybe we shouldn't just like continue being cool with it. Nonetheless,
I want to point out this guy's also raised, last time I checked, $30,000.
He already had a platform. That's the thing. Jubilee is supposed to screen for people that are like already have a platform doing content and stuff.
Let me tell you, I
guys
did
are a known Groiper and a known fucking Nick
Yes.
Fuentes fan.
And I want to point out, I did a deep dive because I wanted to talk about this in a video. I wanted to make a video about it, but Jubilee is very tight-lipped on who works for them and how people are connected to them. But I will say this, if you watch their content, and anybody here that's watched their content will know, there are certain people that always show up in their content, that are always in their audience or in their panel. Always. Always. These people have massive social media followings. They're not random right-wing people or random conservatives or random MAGA people that they find at schools or they find all that. These are actual platformed influencers that are using this site to further their career. And I heard, I know people are a big fan of his content, but I did see a clip from Vosh the other day where he believes that Jubilee is a right-wing psyop.
I think it's very likely. It's very likely.
Because several people like Vosh and other influencers have been contacted by them and they've turned down Jubilee. They're like, I don't want to go on your platform because you're not, this is not like a liberal versus far right. This is like liberal versus literal neo-Nazis. Like that's what this was.
I want to replay this. I played this at the beginning of the stream. We got a lot more people watching by now across 4 channels, I believe. Wherever channel you're watching, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel you're watching on, and then consider checking out the channels all linked in the description of said channel and checking out those as well. We do this every week on the Wednesdays. We got a kind of a somewhat a floating, rotating cast of folks. But check this out.
Hello, my name is Jake. I am a living human being who is currently alive. My first claim is that I don't think I should be murdered. Hello. Okay, I'm going to talk really fast in order to make a half-baked point and just hope you don't call me out on it. Does it really matter if I kill you? Secondly, hold on.
Please don't interrupt me.
I have a family. Do you have a family?
Answer the question.
Yes, it matters if you murder me.
To you?
Yes.
But to anyone else?
My mother would be disappointed.
That's exactly my point. Would anyone else?
You're moving the goalposts.
For me, it would feel really good to kill you. Like, amazing.
Let me get this straight. You believe that you have a better right.
I'm saying it would feel good.
So you're all fine with this logic that we could just say and do whatever we want?
No.
Because last I checked, we live in a society and not a Blumhouse purge movie.
No, hey.
And clearly I'm making a pretty good point because everyone's trying to vote you out before I get to the end of my point, which is I've been voted out. Shoot, I was actually really close to getting to the end of my point right there.
It's been a pleasure.
Cheers. My second claim is, please don't kill me. Please, oh God, please, please, please.
Whoa.
You got here fast.
Yeah, well, I really want to kill you.
I can tell.
First off, I believe in respect. I show respect to everyone, no matter who you are. I believe we're better as a society when we respect one another.
No, I appreciate that.
Here's why I'm going to kill you.
Is that a threat?
It is just a statement.
Where do you find these people, man?
I'm just stating things, and you're being really divisive.
Okay.
Your car is parked, 30 yards from the door over here. Do you really think you can outrun all 20 of us and get to your car in time? One of us is gonna kill you. I mean, if not me, one of these other people.
No, we're not arguing.
By the way, you probably already know this is man carrying thing. He does this shit like almost every day. He's putting out fucking just great little bits of summary content that gets right to the heart of things.
If it will happen, we're arguing if it should happen.
I think so.
Please don't kill me. I have so much to live for. It's actually illegal as well, and I'm calling the cops right now.
I got voted out.
Shoot, I was really close to calling them too.
Nice chatting.
Cheers. My final claim is, no, please, help me, this is a trap.
Hello.
I actually agree with your earlier point that you do have a lot to live for. You have a wife, you have kids.
Thank you. Yes.
I just don't care.
Okay.
I'm still gonna kill you. What about the 2019 NASA research paper that claims 99.9% of people don't want to be murdered? Okay, what about the research that says I don't care?
Yeah.
All right. This guy, I caught his video yesterday, and maybe I'll reconsider. I'm not in complete disagreement with him, but I don't know. I'm operating from this is the world we have. This is what was going on, so we kind of have to make the best of it. Whereas like the content like this that I've seen a lot of, where it's like Jubilee should stop, it shouldn't exist. It's like, okay, sure, they're not gonna, right?
No, they make too much money.
So I mean,
they
I
get
feel like
millions and millions and millions of views on their videos.
2.9 million views in one day on that Media song. Right. And I don't know what the breakdown is of what people are taking from it, but it seems like a lot of young people are watching it. We can only fucking hope that they're able to see how absurd literally every single person on that panel, those 20 fucking was, like they everything, they have some emotional appeal that almost seems like it has a logical basis, but then it's pushed on slightly and they immediately just, like the most infamous guy at this point is just like, I want to this is what I do take issue with the guy we're about to watch, because he says that Connor guy is too stupid to understand that you can't vote in autocracy. He doesn't see the incongruity between voting in an autocrat and then doing away with elections. No, he knows that. Connor understands fully. Those people that want to vote in an autocrat and then get rid of democracy, that's the fucking point. They're like Thanos. They want to use the stones to destroy the fucking stones.
Right.
You know, they want to use democracy to destroy fucking democracy. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
You know, but like otherwise, this guy's pretty entertaining. And he's a gay dude who made a couple of funny comments about a couple of people on the panel. The ones that one of them in particular keeps showing back up on these things.
But Jubilee is going way too far, and it's now giving us the new faces of fascism. I never expected to see the day where the faggotrons of the world would be far-right conservatives. And when I say far-right, I do mean fascists. So if you're not familiar with Jubilee, this YouTube channel that does these little debates, they have this series called Surrounded, where they put one person in the middle debating 20 people of opposing political views. And they try to frame this as a good faith debate, you know, between people who just disagree on some things and see if we can reach some common ground, when really it's one progressive versus 20 Nazi supporters. Their latest episodes, they bring this journalist, Mehdi Hassan, to debate 20 far-right conservatives, but we might as well call them fascists because they have no problem calling themselves fascists.
You're a little bit more than a far-right Republican. Hey, what can I say? I think you could say I'm a fascist. Yeah, I am.
And one of the things
I just want to like because
you're wait, you got to repeat that. You're breaking up.
check. Am I back?
There you go.
Is it just me, or does that guy, like the Connor guy, he just is so transparently insecure that everything he's doing is this performative, attempted masculine, you know, like over performative masculinity thing but like, you know, I mean, I don't like to break people down based on the way they look or anything, but I mean, whenever it comes to the right-wing dudes being insecure, you can tell a lot by how they even are shaped. That guy had fat birthing thighs and hips. Okay. He's got a fucking kind of a high-pitched voice, Connor. And if you believe that those types of things make you less masculine and you can't change those things immediately about yourself, you might drift to fucking fascism to overperform your masculinity so that maybe nobody notices. And then you get to exert some power over people so that nobody's actually going to ever be able to bully you. That's the psychology of it. It really is, you know, in some cases anyway.
Also, and I want to point out, I don't think that a lot of the younger generation that is getting in on this whole situation, I'm not giving them like a pass on this or whatever, but I think the bigger issue is our school system has failed to explain why these things are as bad as they are, because so many people have tried to kneecap our education system across the country. So things like DEIA and stuff like that, taking that out pulls out things that kids really need to learn. Like, I think that when you talk about what fascism is and how we've seen it try to get enacted in different ways around the world throughout history, I think we need to be like, it needs to be clearer to the people what this means. Because, and you have people who, like that guy Connor or Pine Sap, whatever his fucking online name was, said in one breath, he's like, because I'm Catholic, I don't want people to feel demoralized or whatever, but then also doesn't want to call out like genocide.
Right. Look, it's the same thing with libertarians like Eric July, who believe in the non-aggression principle, except, well, you know, when it comes to making money at all costs, which is a libertarian society, that's what that would be. They would totally be okay with exploiting human beings, which would fall under any other circumstance as an aggressive treatment of a person, right? Like that's why, you know, you study any one of these ideologies, they all fucking fold in on themselves. They don't make any sense. But yeah, they're all sexually. This guy in particular, Connor, is a groiper. His fucking leader is someone who says that having sex with women, unless you're making babies, is gay. Eric, I hate to do this to you, man. You're a resident homosexual here. Is it gay to have sex with a woman if you're a man?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that's how it works.
I know you've been a long time.
I think the definition of heterosexuality does include being attracted to women if you're a man, and a woman being attracted to a man. Yeah.
It's just like, so there's something sexually warped, like with their sexuality, not sexuality, but like the way they view their own sexuality is fucking warped. I'm not going to say they're all gay or anything. I definitely think Nick Fuentes probably is, but like a lot of these guys are fucking, you know, just their insecurity and the way they view themselves and they just, it gets so fucking distorted in their own minds, and they can't fucking get laid, or they fuck themselves up from getting laid, because yes, most dudes are going to go through at least some period when they're younger where they can't figure out how to seal the deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then just keep at it, man. Work on yourself. Fucking develop some fucking interesting things to talk about. Work on how to dress yourself a little bit better. Things like that. Eventually it's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? But like some of these guys, I think, just decide, nope, it's no use for me.
Well,
You know
I think
what
the other issue is that we run into this thing where everything else in their life was given to them because they grew up in a very privileged situation. Like a lot of these guys come from rich families or backgrounds where they were above middle class, and they didn't really have to want for anything except for respect and a relationship with a woman. So those are the two things that don't get handed to them. So they have to follow the pipeline to, how can I now force these things to be given to me, because everything else in my life has been given to me. So
And
they're
they think-
looking for a way to make that happen. And so they end up in the pipeline of fascism.
They mistake equality for literally treating everyone how you are treated instead of considering their life experiences.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like they think, oh, if you know, I should be able to say what I want and it shouldn't be offensive because I'm not offended by people saying whatever they want, unless it's something specifically different. You know, stuff like that. But
Oh, you're cutting out there at the end. You're cutting out.
I will see what this guy says for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that scary?
His name, by the way, is Stutterbox. I'm gonna throw him this up.
Scares me the most, I think, nowadays is that you really can't tell who's a fascist anymore.
Yes.
Right? Because you think that white
And that's one of the reasons why I think that, okay, Jubilee sucks. I wish it didn't exist. It does. What can we learn from it? We can learn that there are women that look like your average liberal or even lefty progressive.
Remember when like pink and purple hair was considered to be like screaming liberals? Like, you know what I
There's
mean?
that one chick she's got big glasses, fucking, you know, nose ring, fucking forearm tattoos. Like that would have just a few years ago been indicative of someone on the left. You know, I'm not saying that they can't. Anybody can do whatever they want, but I'm just saying that fascism has morphed. It is morphing.
Well, I think that's why a lot of people say that Jubilee is a psyop. They specifically look for people that like don't fit the perspective of fascism, and then they throw them into a debate like this.
Yeah, he's about to talk about this, guys.
Supremacists in the United States of America would have this very specific look. And don't worry, there's plenty of them in this panel that have the look that we all recognize, and we can tell, yeah, I could see him being a fascist. But when they start having these androgynous looking twinks like this guy, you mean to tell me that this kid is a fascist? Why are we having twinkatrons who probably dance to Lady Gaga and know all of the choreographies of all of her songs, debating against human rights, praising Trump for being inhumane? I don't understand how we got to this position. But this little twink is just one example. We do have the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
this caveman.
He seems like
he looks like he eats bark off a tree.
Like he genuinely says at one point, I need to calm down because, you know, I have this thing. Where
That's
I need
crazy.
To calm down. And that to me just.
I need to calm down. That's
I
like.
have this thing.
Yeah.
You know, the court has ordered me not to get too upset again.
Right.
Kind of thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, that's like, not saying this guy, but that's like somebody going, oh, I hit her because she asked for it. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like, no, bro. Like, no.
Screams, one day I'm
drunk dad on a lawnmower
and be on the news. And then he goes on to argue that law doesn't matter anymore. We've reached a point in the United States where it's the law of the jungle, every man for themselves. There's no point in following the law anymore. There's no point in having respect for the Constitution anymore. There's no point in not trying to harm others. We should genuinely just hurt each other. We are going to have to go out and fight in the streets. We're going to take our guns and our fists out in the open.
Now, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and defend Jubilee's existence, but I will say that what if they got the the meme of like the MAGA dad on Twitter or whatever, that's like the photo in the truck from down below. They got the big Oakleys and the MAGA hat, and like, what if everyone they brought on here basically looked like that?
Yeah.
We might not realize that these people also exist. Now, granted, that could be
right.
These people don't represent a broader category, and these people could be influencers that are specifically chosen by Jubilee. We just don't know.
A lot of them are influencers, though. A lot of they've already gone through and like found like over half of these panels are just influencers. So
Jeremy Griggs, long lost brother.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, like, there are probably some people they do find randomly, but they fill in the gaps with people who are influencers 100%.
So, I mean, I'm sure Jubilee didn't mean to basically end Jordan Peterson's career, but they kind of seem to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's never going to
I'm
go
of
away
two
for,
minds
but...
of Jubilee. I did see a question here from Think Noodle that I highlighted.
Okay.
And I want to talk about this, but this kind of segues into what I'm going to say here. No, I would never go on Jubilee. I don't think Jubilee is a platform for changing minds. I think Jubilee is a platform for generating revenue, and there is a little bit of stuff you can take away from it. Like today we're talking about, fascists that don't look like your normal definition of fascism. And yes, you can do that. But for me personally, I don't see any value in going on and trying to have a meaningful good faith discussion because this panel was 99% bad faith. So there's no point in it. But I want to say I don't like Jubilee because I think Jubilee does a lot of harm. I think it does more harm than good because we see this guy, Connor, who is he's going to be set for the rest of his life probably because he went on and said that he's a fascist, and that's just fucking wrong. We have organizations trying to raise money for kids that need food and for drinking water. They can't even make 10 grand. This guy goes on a fucking Jubilee stream and says, I'm a fascist, and he's already raised $30,000. There's a fundamental problem with our country when that is the go-to. This is the same guy who doesn't want to give government handouts to people and then ask for a handout.
I will say that the other value, besides the exposing us to a different, optically aesthetic of fascism that's coming up, is it shows that they have nothing. And I know that not everybody's going to take it from that, but they have nothing in terms of actual arguments. Mehdi Hassan remained firm on his positions throughout.
Yeah.
And would try to drag them back to the initial claim because they would definitely try and get out of that. And it, virtually every turn, these guys showed that, they either are just like blatant hypocrites. There's like the blonde girl that's like, I don't like immigrants. My parents are immigrants, and then like she got voted out instantly because that's what more than anything, I want people to recognize that they lie to themselves, to you, to me, to everybody. They lie. It's all lies. Whether they mean it or realize they're doing it or not, it's irrelevant. They don't have any consistent logic. It's all just whatever they need to say at any given moment to get the optics. Same thing with the Chuds we talk about all the time. Anything they need to say at any given moment to create the optics of a win in that moment, because the people they're trying to appeal to have goldfish memories.
Yeah.
And, but like, I want to say, as far as like, this guy may be a big tough guy, but he's absolutely dangerous.
Yeah.
This kind of guy but definitely would fucking hurt people if given just the slightest provocation. You may be able to fucking punch him, and you might have, they say Nazis have glass jaws. I've known that to be true personally with one instance, but
this guy hates brown people. He's sitting in front of somebody who is not white, and he is angry that he even has to have a conversation with them.
He can't even hide the hatred in his fucking face mainly because he doesn't have any eyebrows. But all right,
and we're gonna see who comes out on top, and you can just tell that he is salivating at the opportunity of punching a bunch of people, foaming at the mouth, looking for problems. And I'm not even joking. It's not a euphemism when I say someone check his laptop. But then we have this one.
This is the one. This guy's been on so many fucking
on many of these debates. Always on the far right side. He loves to argue for pro-deportation, anti-immigration, pro-America, ironically upholding white supremacist values, even though he himself is, I think he is Latino. He's also very gay. They're not going to pick you. They're going to line you up with the rest of us, and they're going to kick you just as hard off the cliff as they will any other of us. This is not fair. Like, it's not fair. We used to have like queer coded people, queer imagery used to mean like leftist, progressive values. Let's be respectful and kind to each other because society already hates us. He's wearing a silk shirt, hair up in a ponytail, the smile of a man who's just swallowed 20 loads before showing up to this set to film. It pisses me off that the pick-me's are so openly fascist now, because 10 years ago, none of these people would admit to half the things they've admitted in this video. They're openly admitting to the most outlandish things, and we'll get to some.
Oh, can we pause for a second?
This guy actually doesn't.
I have to give myself a pat on the back because I said last year, and you will remember this, that the dog whistling and all of the like double talk is going to go away because they're going to have to get more extreme because they're going to find out there's going to be a ceiling on how much dog whistle double talk they can do, and they're going to have to push it further. I said this. This literally was something we talked about.
Cut to the edit, Dane. All right, you'll see that soon. I mean, yeah. Do you mean beatable, like literally physically beatable? I mean, I could beat the fuck out of this guy. I would feel bad about it, but I would absolutely do it if I had to.
Well, this guy also, I want to point out, I've watched a lot more of these than I probably should have.
Yeah.
But every time he debates someone, he has an anecdotal story for every single fucking situation.
That is the most powerful thing that they have. I'll admit that, like, sometimes it never really gets me, but like sometimes you can start to see how people who just don't realize that anecdotes don't mean shit. What it does is it draws on, that's why it's so insidious. It draws on the actual empathy that most humans do have.
Because they want you to think of it individually, because it's much easier for them to get you than to say, think of this whole group of people. So instead of think of all these displaced people that are going to be dealing with the problems that we're putting them through, he'll say, but my mom dealt with this, and everybody has a mom. So you know what it's like if it was your mom. Like they try to pull on your heartstrings. But my point is, I don't think this guy, all these stories he's saying, I don't think they're real. I think a lot of them are just made up anecdotes that he's using as talking points in these discussions. I don't think they're real. Every single one, he has a story. Every single one.
I think it zeroes out. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It zeroes out. I mean, look, if only if he was posing a physical threat to me or people, around me or whatever, would I even do that? But like, yeah, I think it would zero out at that point.
Talk in this episode, but I've seen him talk in other episodes. But the fact that he keeps giving his face to the movement, I'm confused. Is there brain damage involved? Do we need to check up on it?
Maybe he's, behind the scenes, giving some face to the movement. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe those 20 loads came from some of the people.
Maybe 20 loads came from those 20 people around him.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few women in there, so definitely not them. But yeah, it's it's one of those situations where, like, honestly, there's that discussion with Mehdi Hassan had with the Bulwark yesterday. If you aren't sure how you feel about Jubilee, I would just recommend watching that, because Mehdi Hassan essentially doesn't either. He says he sees both arguments as completely valid at this point, because he said, like, at one point he refused to have election deniers on his show, in 2020. Now 2024, 2025, every conservative basically is an election denier.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're going to talk to them, you kind of have to, you know what I mean? And it's like, and in a way, that's how fascism creeps in. But in a way, you need to expose fascism. So, like, that's the thing, man. Acting like there is a one specific way to handle this, and that's
go ahead.
And that's the one right way to do it, is disingenuous, because fascism inherently puts other people in a position to where there is no win. There's no clear win. There's no clear right way to handle this, because it is inherently deceptive, inherently bad faith, inherently insidious, inherently, it's designed to take everything, everybody's good faith and good nature and will to believe what people have to say, will to believe that what you're going to do is engage in a debate of good faith. It undermines all of that while pretending like it respects all of that. So, yeah.
His home life as well. The ironic thing about this episode is that they're supposed to argue certain points, right? So the person in the center makes a stance. Like, this is my take. For example, in this case, Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal. And the point of the whole debate is that if you disagree, you go up to the table and you explain why you disagree. But the fact is, half of these people just go up to the table and say, I don't care if you think that. I'm okay with it. It's not a debate. We're not debating whether or not you think Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal. They're openly saying, I don't care if he's pro-crime or pro-criminal. In fact, I think he should be even worse. It's not a debate. And Jubilee keeps putting out these videos because they always get millions of views.
Okay, can we pause there? I think that's the bigger problem, is that if you're going to bring someone on that has certain like claims, and you're signing up to be a part of the audience to dispute those claims, you should be held to that. You shouldn't come in and be like, I don't care about your claim. Here's me just spouting off fascist stuff.
$5 from Tom. Thanks, man. Yeah, let's be honest. Election nihilism is really about certain people shouldn't get to vote. I mean, basically, we know we can't win if with actual democracy. That's what it is. We know that the worm has turned against conservatism if things were left to play out organically. That's why they have to do the election engineering. They have to do the fucking denialism. They have to do the gerrymandering. They have to fucking lie. They have to crank out content and pretend that people like Tim Pool are fucking liberals or whatever. You know, that's why they do all of it. That's why they put out, that's whatever funds. I'm going to say it, you know, maybe I'll be proven wrong one day, but until I am, I believe that there are funds to some degree trickling from some right-wing organization, explicitly right-wing or even fascist organization, to guys like Nerdrotic. Okay? I don't know how many degrees of separation there are, but it's there. It just is. And like the reason that they do that, because it's hard to sell people on, hey, you shouldn't like brown people being in your country, even though you've known plenty of people. You know, you've had amazing meals made by immigrants. You've had your landscaping or whatever fucking job that white people don't like to do. It's all been done beautifully for a long time, and in a lot of ways, you know, working in fields and stuff like that by these immigrants who come to this country, sometimes undocumented, to do the fucking job and take money back to their families, and you know, like anybody wants to do. And it's hard to get people to hate that kind of person generally, as society has progressed towards more egalitarian, empathetic views and stuff, unless you couch it in stuff like movies bad. Right, that's how they fucking done it. There's an element of that grift in any sector of entertainment or whatever it is that you want to look at, because that's what they have to do. They have to lie. They have to do it deceptively. They can't just put their views out there and expect to win. They can't. So they have to do the election shit and all that. But
I also want to think about this in a much broader way. So if you think about where we were back in 2017, where woke, virtue signaling, all of this DEI stuff and everything was just kind of in a bubble here on social media. Like, this is where we kind of saw it. And now it got to the point where the government is actually talking about it and using those terms. So it took 6 or 7 years for the government to catch up.
Bubble burst during COVID, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think about this. How long before the government is just okay with saying fascism is okay? Because now that this movement is starting online with these Andrew Tate guys, all these fucking red pilled people or whatever you want to call them, all that's going to take is enough of them to say it like it's okay for the government to eventually shift and say, okay, we're listening to the will of the people. That's the scary part. It's not that we're dealing with Stephen Miller. Yeah, that's scary, but he's still somewhat at the moment, still tied up in governmental red tape, right? However, at a certain point, they're just going to go, well, the people want fascism, so we're going to have a fascist party.
I'm going to make a prediction right now. I said this to my partner, Jen, the other day, and she was like, oh, no, because she realized I'm right. They're going to push for a third term based on 2020's election interference.
Okay.
They're Trump. They're going to say,
yeah.
I don't know now, because this is a pretty big deal. This is kind of throwing my whole gauge out of whack, because Murdoch doing what he's doing with Wall Street Journal. Murdoch's never been a fan of Trump in general, but he was willing to, push him and let Fox News push him and stuff, because it would get him to where they got to, which is the big, beautiful bill. Now they only see the rich right-wingers, the actual shadow cabal that runs the world, which is not Jews or any ethnicity. It's just old fucking people with lots of money. That's all it is, right? They see that Trump has outlived his usefulness now. He's done the big fucking thing that they needed, which is the fucking tax break that's going to pay off dividends for them for years and years and years. They're great. Now the only thing they can see him doing is damaging any prospects in the future, because they just see him as a bull in a china shop, because he is. Especially I think that's why this Epstein stuff is being put out now. I think that's why the Wall Street Journal did that now, because they're trying to basically get him out of this fucking picture. However, if he doesn't get out of the picture, they're absolutely going to say, because the election was stolen in 2020, which it wasn't, but because so many people believe it is, that he should get this third term. He's owed that. That's how they're going to bring just straight up fascism.
I'm not going to say, like, I mean, you could absolutely be right, but I don't think Trump is their guy anymore. I think
he might not be.
I think if this Epstein thing goes sideways, that's pretty much it for them, because they're not going to be able to continue. I think MAGA can exist without Trump, but I don't think Trump thinks they can. I think Trump believes that he is MAGA, but he is not anymore. We have people who are MAGA that still have MAGA values that are rejecting Trump over this Epstein stuff.
But the thing is that I think a lot of the poorest, saddest cultish individuals involved with MAGA will not break off from Trump.
But is there enough of an already smaller group to keep that going?
That's the question, right? That's what we got to find out. And we won't know.
I mean, to put this in perspective, Texas is already trying to rig elections because they don't think there's going to be enough. Right? They are already worried in Texas, of all places. I mean, if you're going to rig something, why do you have to rig it in a place that's almost always going to vote Republican anyway?
Well, because the people, they've been saying for years, like, oh, people are fleeing California because they hate those liberal values. No, they just hated the liberal fucking tax rates. Yeah. They're moving to Texas. That doesn't mean that they became right wingers. Yeah. So a lot of liberals moved to Texas and are still fucking liberals, man.
No, absolutely. But I think the reality is, I think that they see the writing on the wall, so they have to do like a lot of these guys do and force reality to conform to what they want it to be instead of accepting reality for what it is. And so I honestly don't think MAGA has the movement it had 4 years ago. I don't think it does. No. I think they're loud and they're all over social media, but I think a lot of that, and we know this for sure, a lot of it is just like bot farms being bought that recycle stuff.
I'll say this. I think this Epstein thing is the dick moment, if we want to compare it to Comicsgate and Rippaverse. I think that it's breaking the same way Dick broke.
I think we're going to see, I think you're right, and I think we might see subsections of MAGA calling themselves other things going into the midterms.
Richards, what's up? Yeah, so I didn't vote for her. I was too young, but I remember, thinking she was pretty cool for an old lady.
So I was going to say, I have about 45 minutes left. We had some other stuff we wanted to go over here?
Really just one fun thing that I wanted to look at. I mean, there's this, look, there's the Hunter Biden interview that came out yesterday. I think is endlessly fascinating. It's a whole other stream's worth of content, probably. I'll probably talk about Friday. I will say that I think Hunter Biden is probably a pretty decent fucking guy. And, I didn't really have a judgment on him, except that, man, he might be not so bad if the Chuds hate him this much. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't really have a fucking beat on him or anything. Hearing him talk with Andrew Callahan, Channel 5, for over 3 hours, basically, you get an idea who the guy is. And he's been sober 6 years. Of course, Chuds still want to act like he's some crackhead or whatever. And because they don't want you to think about the things he's saying, he says some valid shit about the right or the Democrats and the Republicans. I would just say check that interview out, or at least check out some clips if you haven't. And I'll probably be talking about that more in detail on Friday. But other than that, this is a fun thing with comics. Recently, the whole Ryan Gosling as Black Panther thing.
Yeah.
So there's a story currently going on. It's a kind of a not in continuity thing. It is Christopher Priest, who used to be one of the main writers of the the Marvel Knights line back in the day, has returned to kind of end the Marvel Knights universe. So it's Black Panther and other characters that are kind of in around that. Mainly Black Panther seems to be the primary focus, but it's not canon, I don't believe. But so it takes place 20 and 30 something years in the future. It kind of jumps around. And in the first issue, it's called The World to Come. The first issue, it was revealed that 20, 30 years in the future, his wife was pregnant, T'Challa's. Then it flashes forward or whatever, and you see that his son is white.
Okay.
Yeah. And it kind of became like a holy shit, what the fuck is going on? And if it was anybody other than Christopher Priest writing this, I would be like, Marvel, what are you doing? But Christopher Priest is known for, so I got just a bit of a video here from Blurred Without Fear that kind of goes over this. It's both just enlightening, entertaining, and just fucking funny the way he presents it. So subscribe to Blurred Without Fear if you haven't already done that. He's great.
We have the results in. T'Challa. In the case of 20-something-year-old Katoma, you are...
You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Eevee and make it look easy.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It is your boy Ernie the Blur Without Fear. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so today's video, I'm going to be talking about Marvel Knights: The World to Come #2, and something that I actually talked about in my previous video for the first issue. We're going to be addressing that in this video, and it is the parentage of T'Challa's son, the now King of Wakanda, Ryan Gosling. No, seriously, not Ryan Gosling. Katoma is not Ryan Gosling. I'm just playing. But no, last we saw, Katoma had won on Challenge Day. He defeated the Black Panther. And while technically that fight was not exactly over when we saw it, it actually carries out through the rest of this issue. But really, we spend more time this issue talking about what was going on with Everett K. Ross, who we've been spending a lot of time with, who has also been the narrator of this series for the most part, very similar to what was the case with Christopher Priest's original Marvel Knights Black Panther run. But what's interesting here is that it's as I told y'all. Black Panther, you are not the father.
Blurty down at the bottom. That's great.
And here's why. When I talked about this, I said, I just do not feel like there is a universe where Katoma is his actual blood relation child. I actually was more positive that it was potentially...
He's trying to say, he doesn't want to. He's trying to say, a baby this goddamn white.
Yeah.
it's Black Panthers.
Yeah.
A child that Monica Lynn had with someone else, and that someone else very likely being Everett.
Anyway, that's really all I wanted to show was just that that blurty thing, the reaction. It made me do a spit take when I was watching it the other day, and I was like, holy shit. And I've been trying to get Ernie back on. He's a busy man. He's got a lot of stuff going on, doing his own comic. He's got some great guests and stuff. Plus, he's just constantly reviewing comics. He's a busy guy, but he wants to come back on at some point, and we want to have him on. So, just wanted to promote him once again. Best comics channel on YouTube, in my opinion.
Also, Dane, I want to say I have to give a shout out to all the people that have subscribed to my channel. I'm only 50 away from 6,000.
Jeez, dude.
So
awesome. We got 118 people watching right now. If you're not subscribed to Eric Debunks, what is going on? I'm only 60 away from 8,000.
See,
you
could get to 8. I could get to 6.
Let's do it, man. Let's maybe we need to do like a 24-hour co-stream or some shit.
Yeah, that would be great. Like another subscriber.
I say that, and then by like Friday, you're just going to be over 6,000.
Well, we'll see. But I will say this though, I'm actually shocked because I don't remember the last time I've seen a channel that I know of jump from like 1,000 subscribers in 1 week. That's I don't know. You guys
go the other direction.
Yeah, we have seen that. But thanks everybody so much. I mean, all the people that subscribe to my channel, I do appreciate it. I'm really trying hard to be consistent with content, making sure I'm putting something out every day or so, putting out shorts, responding to comments, posting stuff in my community tab. It's
really
been
great, man. Honestly, you're so busy. I'm like, is he going to show up this week? I don't even know if he remembers us anymore. Jeez.
So
we really appreciate to show up every week.
I don't think I had a viral video, but I do believe that YouTube is recommending my channel now, which is something that I wasn't getting before.
Viral video. I've had a couple of viral videos and shorts and stuff, and they haven't necessarily translated into shitloads of subs. You got to be sustained and show YouTube that it wants to promote you and push you in the algorithm for you to really get paid. And it's that you only really. Yeah, there's other ways. There's easy ways, but the way that you've been doing is the hard work and consistency way, and I think that's paying off for you. And congratulations.
Yeah, I was able to buy this new cool arm for my microphone, which I've been.
Is it like a?
It's a lowrider mic arm. I had this other thing over here.
I have a lowrider too. What kind is yours?
I don't remember. I mean, it moves up and everything. It's got a little dial.
Yeah,
here.
mine's got the,
I don't remember. It was something that was recommended to me from a viewer, so I don't remember what the brand is. Yeah, I can do that with mine too. Yeah, it's got a little thing here. I think it might be the same one actually. It was on this stand originally because I got this mic because it has a little LED light on it. It was on this stand, but it always picked up noise from my desk, so I was desperately in need of a lowrider microphone. Drop shipping coffee? No. I mean, I do have merch. Yeah, I do have merch on my channel. I'm getting ready to drop. Okay, so this is something that's been requested, and I'm only doing it because people are asking for it. But an "I'm bored" T-shirt. It says "I'm bored." ... So I'm working on a couple designs for that. So I'll drop that probably in August. So I'm pretty excited. It's going to be tied to my existing store, so it'll just show up at the bottom of my videos. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that one. I just got a lot of fun things. I got my Discord server now, which by the way, Dana, I have to get you in there. I've got my Discord server. I'm going to be adding a debate channel in my Discord server. So if anybody joins and wants to actually debate me, I will give them access to that channel to come in at a set time, and I'll be able to debate them on the Discord channel while I'm live. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to do that. Right now, my Discord is channel members only. So if you're a channel member, you can go to the community tab. The link is there. And then in the beginning of August, it will become public to everybody. So we're going to open up the floodgates. But if you want to get in early and get like a channel role badge, you could do that by just. Well, that's the thing is I'm gonna have to vet them a little bit in Discord to see if they're down for it. I wanted to do and also I have a voicemail thing now. So speakpipe.com. If you look in my AMA video from this past week, if you want to leave me a voice message for me to review on my AMA video, you can go to speakpipe.com and do that. We have to set one up here, by the way, Dane. We should. Speakpipe.com. People can leave you voice messages on their desk, on their computer with an anonymous name. So they can just
great messages in the past.
Well, I can tell you now, I've had a few on mine already, and they're not going to be on my show. But there's been some interesting ones. But yeah, if you want to leave me a message on SpeakPipe that you want me to discuss during my AMA, you can do that. It's anonymous. You don't have to give any details. You can literally just put what name you want me to call you, and then I'll read it out or listen to it on my stream. It's on my AMA video. The link's there, speakpipe.com. I think it's Ask Eric is the thing, but don't quote me on that. Not
looking good still. You guys, we appreciate you very much. Those of you who show up, because you agree with us. Those of you who show up because you don't, or you want to understand where we're coming from, we appreciate you and almost even more. We definitely are not trying to create a community that's isolated into just an echo chamber. We've been accused of that before, but we do like to keep things factual. We like to keep things civil. We like to be good faith. If you're somebody that just if you're just all about the bad faith grift, you know what we say about that. Subscribe to the channels below. Have a good week. I'll see you on Friday on Live AF.
Enjoy the negative grift, guys. I'm out.